So you live with Snapchat Queen, and we're gonna continue on this video with NBC Chicago with the lieutenant explaining CPD's role in ICE activity. So we're gonna listen to the King talk a little bit more. I had to cut it off because I didn't want the video to be too long, but we're gonna let the King continue on with this video. This is part two to that part one, family. I mean, because 30 minutes, and y'all know I can't do it in 30 minutes. I gotta chop them up. I don't own the rights to NBC Chicago News, Channel 5, audio, but this is for educational learning purposes only, trying to understand language, pronunciations, laws and stuff that's in different areas. This is for us learning and having a moment together to ponder on some stuff. That's it. So we're gonna let this video rock on, see what he got to say, and go from there.
Duty to do so. So I need to be clear about a few things. When a crime is being committed, CPD is going to show up. And it doesn't matter if there are ICE agents there, we have a duty to investigate and protect our city. Now, there are a lot of talking heads out there. There are a lot of politics being used here. And people are using this for their political talking points. Well, my office is not political pawns. My leadership team, not political pawns.
That's right.
Their lives are too important to play politics
That's
with
right.
these men and women who face danger every single day. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This is still our city.
That's right.
And we still have a responsibility to maintain safety and calm in our city. Now, there are a couple of things that I want to address. One, what we have to deal with as a department. Because I want to be clear to those who have never done the job, who haven't done the job in years, who weren't on scene, who don't know the facts or have the facts. But they've got a lot of solutions, a lot of ideas of what happened and what should have happened. Let me first talk about the Trust Act. The Trust Act prohibits law enforcement in the state of Illinois from engaging in assisting federal agents when it comes to immigration enforcement.
Let's hear that again.
Who weren't on scene, who don't know the facts or have the facts. But they've got a lot of solutions, a lot of ideas of what happened and what should have happened. Let me first talk about the Trust Act. The Trust Act prohibits law enforcement in the state of Illinois from engaging in assisting federal agents.
So the Trust Act stops them from allowing ICE not to do their job, basically. So basically, the Trust Act is saying ICE got jurisdiction over them. There's nothing they can do about
When it comes to immigration enforcement.
it when it comes to immigration enforcement. Because that's who ICE come and get, the immigrants, right? Who are out of control in the local community, who hire themselves into the police department, into the mayor departments, right? And trying to overthrow the local community, like with Greenville, this all-inclusive plan where they packed in over 1 million people in one little small city of about 10,000, right? They packed in over 1 million people and used colleges and hood to do that. And that's when ICE come in, right? With that Trust Act because they broke trust, right? And that's what he explaining now.
We abide by that law. The city ordinance, the Lincoln City Ordinance, goes a little further. It even prohibits us from asking someone
So the Welcome Act is different than the Trust Act because the Welcome Act say we gonna slide you under the rug. This way you see all them rules laid out here in Greenville, and we gonna just let you do what you gotta do. That mean come on in. The Welcoming Act. That's them trying to overthrow ICE to come get them correct. That's them going to war with ICE, right? With their language. Because they got a Trust Act and a Welcoming Act, right?
That ordinance. Because in law enforcement, we don't make the laws, we uphold them.
Now, they don't make the law, they uphold the law. So within that few seconds of what he just said, right? The Trust Act, the Welcoming Act, right? I mean, you see how they got one to keep them under control, and then they counteract one with the loophole that say, well, this is how we can get around it, right? It's always, well, this is how we can get around it. These people putting their life on the line because people are saying, well, this is how we can get around trying to beat the system. I mean, that's what I'm taking from. I mean, let's discuss this and some of these meanings and definitions and what people are saying, because hey, I mean, this is what's going on outside when they say they want war without fighting, right? And that's them coming into the local community. Y'all see how they towed my car and DME and Bethel, and they doing the Americans like that, saying they ain't at war, right? And this is them using the police, right? Using the government, right? And using those hives I showed you, right, through hood and housing, right? That D how you say it? DIE program, right? Where they hired themselves into jobs to tear down America through a job, right? That's why I go back to the call centers, right? Where they was getting the hotspot boxes, right? Moving out of the houses, getting campers and stuff, selling their stuff to move overseas, right? But still control it through a hotspot box in the camera, right? Well, let's continue on and see what else he got to say, y'all. Let's see.
And we're sworn to do so. And we take our oath seriously. Engaging with federal agents, we do it on a regular basis. We have task force officers who are out there every single day working to stop human trafficking, drug enforcement, gun violence, gun recoveries, search warrants, and everything in between when it comes to violent crime in our city.
Now, mind you, every time they talking, right, it's always something relating to violent crime. I mean, let's just ponder on that right there. I mean, they allow these people to come here, right? Because they obviously know who they are, right? Because if they have to have these laws to control them, that means somebody is allowing them to slide through a vetting process, or the vetting process ain't happening. Like you said, the Welcoming Act. And here in Greenville, they got a whole lot of welcoming rugs here, right? I mean, it's so many welcoming rugs outside to the fact, y'all, I can't even find the local community. I can't even find the local community. And then when I do find the local community, they looking at me like they terrorists. I mean, like they hostages with some terrorists. Excuse me. I mean, it's like a ghost town outside, right? I mean, you be amazed at what's going on with how these people thinking, right? Because, like I said, it's people out here, law enforcement, who put their life on the line, right? Wake up and have to leave their families. And then when you got to go to work, right, with people who intentionally come in your office to bring harm into a community, right? I mean, because I went to work where I had people who intentionally got into a call center just to go steal somebody information, to the point they had to bring the police to arrest the people in the building, right? And that's why I say it's sad when you live in a society where people don't want to get up and work for a living. They'd rather sit around and watch somebody out of envy and jealousy and go take their stuff and be mad when they become on the back of a t-shirt. I mean, families be mad when they on the back of a t-shirt. Right, and that's what we be telling these young kids out here in this street, baby. That's why they walking around with y'all on t-shirts, baby, because y'all out here doing stuff. Then your family on the news with snot running out their nose, right? But they don't know that you somebody different in the streets. You out here being on the okie doke with somebody and don't know who that person is or who that person rock with, that love that person in the background, right? That's gonna take care of that person work without you knowing that somebody doing that's following them, right? I mean, it's sad when we living in this society that we got to start having these conversations because everybody outside focused on somebody else's money. It's all boiling down to somebody else's money. All this is because somebody watching somebody else's pockets mad. And that's why it's sad when motherfucker watching your pockets mad. They can do the same thing you doing or something. But instead of doing that, they want to watch you in your pockets mad. And that's why even I'm listening to him talk, even with understanding how law, politics, and all that stuff work, they don't understand that the police got somebody over the police. They so keen on being wrong that they don't understand that the police got somebody over the police to watch them when they out of control, baby. That's why they got a problem with Homeland Security. And that's why we tell them, baby, this is why 911 is a joke to us. We don't call 911. That's y'all calling 911, baby. We call Homeland Security, military to come get y'all under control before we do. Come get y'all like y'all, like we telling them now, come get these people before we get them. And that's how all my people in jail, right? Because we told them, come get these folk before we get them. And that's when they came out here with they fake police. And that's when you go watch this video, right? Go watch this video, right? And you will see them standing in those codes. All you got to do is watch the police videos and you'll start seeing how they standing in codes and what set they with and how they not with America, right? And you'll see the ones that's American. That's why I said sad, because the ones who are with America, right, is waking up and got to go to work with the enemy, right? They got to go to work with the enemy. And that's the most dangerous of all when you working with the enemy in law enforcement and government. And this is why we have treason laws set up for that, baby. That's why I say we'll understand what Jasmine and all them went down there to Congress to do. What did they study about government, baby? Because their job is to go and ask somebody else for some funding, a budget department for some funding for their business proposal and their budget, and they end cap that they're supposed to ball to them for their community. And then they're supposed to find a way to pay that money back in the process, right? Not keep acting like it's something different, because we don't understand what they thinking. And that's why we're confused. And that's why I got to start breaking some of these videos down with some of this language so that y'all can understand with me, right? So we can all be on the same thinking process. Because like I said, if this is how they thinking, right, they don't even understand that ICE and the local police are two separate entities controlled by two separate pots of gold, right? The local police need a budget from somebody, right? The same people that ICE need a budget from, right? So somebody is giving them a budget like Donald Trump. It's a separate budget, right? So there's three different pots that control different people, right? Just depending on who out of control is who come check that person that's out of control. That's how it works. In America, we don't know how it works in your country. But in America, when they start getting out of control, just like a company, right? Just like Verizon. I'm going to get them in all Spectrum. I'm going to go back to Spectrum and get Spectrum example, right? The guy thought that he can come in there, right? Get people credit cards, right? Hook up his homeboys, his family members with cell phones, right? So they had a surprise visitor come in on them. GPD, right? Let them get that last bill ring in, you know what I'm saying? Set that account up, right? Watch them from the back room, hook up somebody's phone, right? off these people credit card, right? Let them get on in there, right? And next thing you know, bam. They came up to him when he was ringing that bell happy. We were jumping and clapping. Go ahead, go ahead. You know how it is with that cowbell. I mean, that's a moment for everybody. Boy, then your team get some stuff too. I mean, that cowbell just hit different, right? So he ringing the cowbell. And they say, you know, them boys came out. Hey, that's how Spectrum got down on. He said, can you focus now? Y'all know I put a little comedy in this, but it's for real, though. Spectrum said, can you focus now? Hey, he had that Henny in the cup, too. Boy, he won't play with. Boy, he went up, bing, bing, bing. Like, damn, boy, what's your formula? He said, it's in the cup. Hey, look, I went and got me a cup, y'all. I mean, he was ringing that bell so hard. Hey, look, I went and got me a cup. But the blue lights popped in on us so quick and slowed that roll on, right? And that's why I say, like, it's sad. It's sad when people out here doing their job, right? And then they got to worry about somebody in their background, right? Being destructive. I'm gonna close out with that, y'all, because I'm gonna let y'all go out pondering on that. I'm gonna let y'all go out pondering on that. And then I might come back and do a little clip of this video, right? Because we have to understand, not understand, I take that back. We have to overstand, right? And have a standing on what the conversation is with people having it with us so that we can be on the same level, right? Because a lot of times these conversations where they in your face is what you got to understand is about money. It's not about no friendship. It's not about no love. It's about I'm in your face to get something. And what your job is to figure out what it is you in my face to get. That you ain't coming out your mouth straight forward to say, right? And that's how you just got it. That's how I carry, right? And that's how I'm at peace in life because I understand that some people just ain't like me. Just hey, how you doing? Keep it moving, right? Some people are in your face to beg intentionally. They in your face intentionally for something. And then if you don't have it to give it to them, they got an attitude. That means they wasn't there anyway for peace. They was there for animosity because they wanted something from you. You like with Snapchat Queen, AI chatbot friends. Hey, we're gonna start having these discussions, y'all. It's time for it. It's time for some adult conversations, right? And get out of this 7-year-old world.